Hello, everyone. Welcome to Claret and Booze. It's Nick, Evening Daily Ramble. I've been to a funeral today. If anyone's having a drink this evening, raise a glass to Keith. Lovely old boy. Rest in peace, my friend. And now I'm back and I'm talking to you because there's a little bit of news. We've signed someone again. But before we get there, please drop a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already. We've just signed another. We've employed another member of staff. This time, we've employed a sports psychologist. Now, this isn't someone to sort out your mental health. This is someone to instill a winning mentality in those players. It's got nothing to do with Potter. This is because the players haven't got a winning mentality. So this is what we need. I think we got him from Brighton, because it's another one of Potter's mates. You know, it's Jobs for Mates FC. Remind me what Brighton have won? I know they run well, but what have they won? So, because ultimately that's winning. Winning is what we did 2 years ago in Prague, isn't it? Yeah, I think it is. So anyway, but forget that. We need to instill a winning mentality. Nothing else is wrong. We're going to get a psychologist to make these players win. That's what we're going to do. I'm not too fussed either way on this. I think it's a bit airy-fairy. I don't know what's next, what Eileen Drury. But whatever Potter wants to do, he's going to do. And he's obviously being sanctioned to do so. So the likes of myself and other people that keep on banging that drum saying, he ain't being backed, he ain't being backed. Well, he is. He's building the whole entire backroom staff full of his old mates. And if it fails and he gets sacked, we've then got to pay all them off as well. The same as with Lopetegui, the same as with Moyes. It never changes at West Ham. We never learn. If you look across London to a little club called Brentford, because they are a little club compared to us, but very well run. Well, even they have got a technical director and a director of football that make all of the footballing decisions for that club. Obviously, as we know, Spurs have poached Thomas Frank, but they've appointed his replacement from within. I can't think of his name because I don't really care, but I was interested in the story. So when they obviously caught wind and learned that Thomas Frank was probably going to be moving on last season, they recruited somebody, a set-piece coach that's come in. This is the replacement. So he's had a year bedding into the club. He's familiar with the players, and he's going to be stepping in now because obviously Brentford, like Brighton, are a very efficiently run team. You can imagine the guy's probably just going to be a good manager, you know? So how can Brentford be run like that, but us run like this? How can we be run like this? I mean, if you look at it in that respect, Brentford got, a £9 million payoff for Thomas Frank leaving, and they've got the manager replacement there in-house. It's cost them fuck all. They've made money out of it. With us, because I don't think we'll ever have a manager poached. Not really. We always have to pay him to leave, or we just suffer in silence. Well, not me, but we have to suffer until their contract expires, and then we can replace them. But if you look at us, if it fails with Potter, if we're anywhere near that bottom three come Christmas, he's gone. He's toast. We've got to pay everyone off again, and then we've got to bring a load of new staff in. That's not talking about the squad, because the next manager will be completely different to Potter, as Potter was completely different to Lopetegui, and Lopetegui was completely different to Moyes, and Moyes was completely different to, you know what I'm saying. Every single time we bring a manager in, they need a new team, because the team that was previously built was for a different style of manager. Everything we do is just fucked, and I really am struggling this time around to have any faith, any excitement, anything at all for this season, because the penny's really dropped with me now how bad we are, and I'm just seeing more and more and more of it. I'm seeing nothing to suggest that we're kind of pulling away from that and we're trying to run more professionally. We're just not, and we've got no money to throw at this now to dig ourselves out of shit, which we've historically done. We're not there now. What we've got to do now is sell our better players and hope that we can go and find some gems. What we're doing is now, by selling the likes of Alvarez, Kudus, Paqueta, and going out there looking at the likes of Stroikens and some of these other players that are completely unproven in elite European leagues, because the Belgian league isn't a top league. The Swedish league isn't a top league. The Danish league isn't a top league. You're talking championship level leagues, apart from a few teams. What we're doing is we're selling gold to buy silver. That's what we're doing. And I struggle to get excited about this. I struggle to see what people are getting excited about, because the Premier League, there's a lot of quality in the Premier League. And I understand the excitement about getting young energy and legs into the team. And, you know, I get it, but you need quality. You do. Otherwise, you're Ipswich. Ipswich spent a lot of money last year on championship level and players and you know, players that are not quite there. How'd it work out for them? And they had Delap up front. So if this is the route that we're going to be taking, and we've got Potter and Macaulay, two guys that have never done this before, they really haven't done this before, picking players and building this team, and we've got Sullivan and Brady doing the negotiating, I just don't see how any of this can go well. And we keep on hearing more reports of more members of staff that are joining the Jobs for Mates FC cartel, the latest one with Potter. I just don't understand it. I don't. It's just balmy. It really is. So I'm sorry, I'm not excited about the sports psychologist, because I'm not. I don't really give a fuck. Same as I didn't about the goalkeeping coach. What I will be excited about is if I start seeing players come in, or if we get some message from the club that leads into what I was suggesting the other day, to say, look, we've changed direction. It's getting too late in the window now for the scale of rebuild that we intended to do. We're going to stick and we're going to build on top of it. You know, we're going to be keeping our better players. I'd be over the moon at that. That, for me, would be the most exciting thing for next season. If they said, we're going to be retaining Paqueta, we're going to be retaining Kudus, we're retaining Alvarez, we've changed direction, we're not doing that anymore, we haven't got the time. That would be amazing. That would be better than, for me, than we've sold them finally. Now let's wait to see what fucking players he can get in, because that's the unknown. It really is, you know. I don't know how these conversations are going either, you know, because a lot of the players that we're linked with as well, you know, they are from Denmark and Sweden. There's a lot of those names, you know. Potter likes a bit of blonde. Maybe he did walk into Sullivan's office and go, Mr. Sullivan, what I'm going to do is, because I don't know whether you know, I managed someone called Osterans once when I was in Sweden. We had successive promotions and we had a good European run once. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill the team with loads of random European players, like we did in Sweden, and it'd go well. I don't know. But then again, we don't know whether all the links that are there are true links. We don't know. I haven't got a clue. But a lot of Macaulay and Potter's links are in that part of the world, I think. So I think there is some truth in it. And look, there might be some good players there. I don't know. It might just be me being negative for the sake of it. But I am negative now. I am. I've got no... Listen, if you're new to this channel, I don't gaslight. I will tell you how I feel. I don't come on the screen to do a puff piece. If I'm positive and I'm happy, I'll be positive and happy. If I feel a certain way, you're going to get that as well. I'm seeing nothing to give me any encouragement from this window so far. Nothing whatsoever. In fact, I'm just full of dread. So look, anyway, the news was we've got a sports psychologist. And that's it from me. I'll speak to you all soon. Come on, you irons.